waving the flag high for South Sudan. Yeah!
South Sudan is often described as the youngest nation on earth, and also one of the poorest countries in Africa. But behind those labels is a deeper story, one that numbers and headlines can never fully explain. This is a land where hardship and hope walk side by side. Where people wake up each day not because life is easy, but because community, culture, and resilience give them a reason to keep going. In South Sudan, poverty is visible, but so is pride. Customs and traditions are not luxuries here, they are anchors. They shape how families are raised, how elders are respected, how marriages are celebrated, and how identity is preserved in the face of uncertainty. Life in South Sudan is closely tied to the land. Cattle are more than animals, they are wealth, status, and heritage. Songs, dances, and ceremonies are not just entertainment. They are history, memory, and survival passed from generation to generation. To understand the birth of a nation, we must first understand its story. South Sudan was born out of resilience. Its people, diverse in tribes and languages, shared one vision: independence. On July 9, 2011, the world witnessed a historic moment. A new nation was born. South Sudan, the world's youngest country, emerged from decades of conflict, hope, and the unyielding spirit of its people. For generations, the people of South Sudan lived under the shadow of war. A struggle for identity, for freedom, for a land they could call their own. And yet, amid hardship, their dreams never faded. For decades, Sudan was a land divided. The north and the south, separated by religion, culture, and conflict. Years of civil war left scars, villages destroyed, families displaced, and countless lives lost. Yet, through it all, the South's desire for self-determination grew stronger. Over 98% of the South voted for independence. The world watched as a dream centuries in the making became reality. On that historic day, the flags rose, and South Sudan was officially born. In this video, we will explore what life truly looks like in South Sudan. From its deep-rooted customs and traditions, to the daily struggles and simple joys that define the way of life. Not through pity, and not through politics, but through understanding. Because to know South Sudan is not just to see its poverty. It is to see its people, their strength, and the culture that refuses to disappear. This is life in South Sudan. South Sudan is a land of diversity, a mosaic of cultures, languages, and traditions. South Sudan is home to over 60 distinct ethnic groups, each with its own story, its own identity, and its own way of life. Among these groups, 6 stand out for their influence, history, and traditions: the Dinka, the Nuer, the Shilluk, the Azande, the Bari, and many others who together shape the heartbeat of the nation. The Dinka are the largest ethnic group in South Sudan, known for their deep connection to cattle, which are more than livestock. They are wealth, status, and a symbol of life itself. Their villages are dotted along the Nile and its tributaries, where age-old traditions and ceremonies keep their culture alive. The Nuer, closely related to the Dinka, are renowned for their resilience and pastoral lifestyle. They move with the seasons, following grazing lands and water, and like the Dinka, cattle are central to their social and cultural identity. These two groups, while distinct, share similarities in language, rituals, and a profound respect for community ties. The Shilluk people live primarily along the banks of the White Nile. They are famous for their fishing, farming, and rich oral traditions. Their kingdom, one of the oldest in the region, is ruled by a ceremonial king whose role is both spiritual and social, guiding his people in times of celebration and conflict. Far to the southwest, the Azande are known for their skill in farming, hunting, and intricate crafts. Historically, they built great kingdoms and were renowned for their vibrant cultural ceremonies, music, and dances. Today, their communities continue to thrive, blending tradition with modern life. The Bari people, residents of the capital region of Juba and along the White Nile, are among the first ethnic groups encountered by travelers entering South Sudan. They are expert farmers, skilled traders, and custodians of a rich language and storytelling tradition that preserves their history and values. While each group has its own language, customs, and beliefs, there are common threads that unite them: a deep respect for family and community, a reliance on the land and livestock, and traditions passed down through generations. These bonds define life in South Sudan, shaping identity and creating a shared sense of belonging. In a nation still young, the strength of its people lies in this diversity. From the Dinka to the Nuer, the Shilluk to the Azande, and the Bari to countless others, South Sudan's ethnic tapestry is a living story, a story of resilience, culture, and the enduring spirit of its people. In South Sudan, life is not just lived, it is celebrated. Every ritual, every ceremony, every custom tells a story of family, community, and identity. These traditions are the threads that weave the fabric of a nation still young, yet rich in culture. From the Dinka to the Nuer, the Shilluk to the Azande, every community preserves rituals that honor birth, bravery, love, and the connection between humans and the land. In South Sudan, birth is sacred. Among many ethnic groups, newborns are welcomed with elaborate ceremonies. Elders give blessings, mothers are honored, and the child is introduced to the spirits of their ancestors. This is not merely a celebration, it is a promise of guidance, protection, and belonging. In South Sudan, they are rites that shape their identity and social responsibility. The Dinka, for instance, hold intricate initiation rituals for young men, where they learn courage, endurance, and the values of their community. These ceremonies often involve music, dance, and symbolic acts of strength and endurance. Cattle ceremonies are central to many South Sudanese communities. For the Nuer and Dinka, cattle are more than livestock. They are wealth, status, and spiritual connection. Rituals around cattle, from blessing ceremonies to marriage negotiations, reinforce social bonds and respect for tradition. In South Sudan, spiritual rituals maintain the link between the living and the ancestral world. The Shilluk, for example, perform ceremonies that honor kings and spirits, seeking guidance for harvests, health, and peace. Drumming, chanting, and symbolic offerings bring communities together in collective reverence. In South Sudan, festivals and communal dances are vibrant expressions of identity. The Azande, like many groups, celebrate with music, masks, and storytelling, passing down legends that teach values, history, and unity. Through movement and song, the past is remembered and the present is celebrated. South Sudan customs are not limited to grand ceremonies. Everyday rituals, preparing meals, weaving mats, storytelling by the fireside, keep culture alive. They teach patience, respect, and community, connecting generations across time. In South Sudan, every custom and ritual is a bridge between past and present, the living and the ancestors, the individual and the community. They are reminders that life is shared, celebrated, and honored in every heartbeat, every song, every dance. These traditions are more than ceremonies, they are the soul of a nation. In South Sudan, life itself is a ritual, a continuous celebration of resilience, identity, and the enduring spirit of its people. Marriage in South Sudan is more than the union of two individuals, it is the joining of families, clans, and communities. Central to this union is the bride price, a symbolic offering, often in the form of cattle, that honors the bride's family and reflects respect, gratitude, and social bonds. The bride price varies by community and is not a payment, but a ritual that strengthens kinship ties. It signifies trust, commitment, and the continuation of cultural values across generations. Initiation rites mark the transition from childhood to adulthood. Among the Dinka and Nuer, these rites teach courage, responsibility, and social obligations. Young men learn survival skills, communal values, and the code of conduct that will guide them as full members of their society. In South Sudan, for girls, initiation often includes education on social responsibilities, motherhood, and the preservation of cultural traditions. Scarification is another form of cultural expression, prevalent among several ethnic groups. Each mark tells a story of courage, belonging, or passage into adulthood. Though the practice has evolved over time, it remains a powerful symbol of identity and resilience, linking individuals to their lineage and heritage. South Sudanese age-set system organizes society into generational cohorts. Men and women pass through life together with their peers, sharing responsibilities, rituals, and leadership roles. This system ensures social cohesion, continuity of tradition, and the transfer of knowledge from elders to youth. Through the age-set system, values are taught, authority is earned, and the community remains connected across generations. It is a living framework that strengthens identity and social harmony. In South Sudan, life is not only lived, it is sung, danced, and spoken. Music, dance, and storytelling are the lifeblood of communities, carrying history, culture, and the spirit of the people across generations. The beating of the drum, the rhythm of the lyre, and the shaking of the rattle are more than sounds, they are messages. Every note carries meaning: celebration, warning, mourning, or joy. Music is woven into daily life, from the bustling markets of Juba to the quiet riverside villages. Dance is the body's expression of culture. Among the Dinka and Nuer, dance accompanies rituals, harvests, weddings, and communal gatherings. Movements are not random, they are stories in motion, narrating victories, love, and shared history. Each movement tells a story. Feet stamp, arms rise, and bodies sway in unison, connecting the living with the ancestors. Through dance, the community celebrates life, endures hardship, and strengthens bonds between generations. In South Sudan, storytelling is the heartbeat of oral tradition. History is passed not on paper, but through words spoken, sung, and performed. Elders recount legends of heroes, ancestors, and spirits, ensuring that knowledge and values survive the test of time. South Sudanese stories are not just entertainment, they are education. Through tales of courage, morality, and resilience, young ones learn the ways of their people, the meaning of honor, and the lessons of survival. In South Sudan, oral traditions, music, and dance are inseparable. They form a living tapestry where culture breathes and adapts. Even in times of conflict, these traditions endure, keeping hope alive, teaching identity, and uniting communities across villages, tribes, and generations. In South Sudan, every song is a memory, every dance a story, and every spoken word a bridge to the past. These traditions are more than culture. They are life itself, vibrant, resilient, and endlessly inspiring. In South Sudan, appearance is more than skin deep. Clothing, body art, and symbols are expressions of identity, status, and beauty. They tell stories of heritage, creativity, and belonging. Clothing in South Sudan varies by region and ethnic group. Among the Dinka and Nuer, simple yet elegant attire is worn daily, while special occasions call for vibrant fabrics, intricate beadwork, and ornamental accessories. Each piece is a reflection of culture, status, and the wearer's place in the community. Beads, shells, and kaura decorations are more than adornment. They convey messages. They can indicate marital status, social rank, or participation in specific rituals. In South Sudan, what you wear speaks as loudly as the words you say. South Sudan body art is a living tradition. Scarification, painting, and ochre application are used to signify courage, beauty, and belonging. Among the Dinka and Shilluk, designs on the face and body mark rites of passage, achievements, and tribal identity. In South Sudan, for men, marks of courage and endurance are celebrated. For women, intricate designs highlight grace, elegance, and social status. These expressions are deeply symbolic, linking the individual to their community and ancestry. Beauty in South Sudan is not uniform, it is culturally defined, evolving, and celebrated. Among many groups, a tall, slender posture, smooth skin, symmetrical scar patterns, and careful adornment are admired. Yet beyond physical traits, beauty is measured in confidence, composure, and adherence to cultural norms. In South Sudan, cattle are more than livestock. They are life, wealth, and a spiritual connection to the land and community. For generations, they have shaped identity, tradition, and the rhythm of daily life. Among the Dinka, Nuer, and many other ethnic groups, cattle are central to culture. They provide milk, meat, and hides, but their significance goes far beyond the material. Each herd represents status, family pride, and spiritual harmony. Cattle are sacred. Ceremonies often involve blessings to ensure health, fertility, and protection. The Dinka believe that the spirits of ancestors watch over the herds, linking the physical and spiritual worlds. In South Sudan, cattle are central to marriage, with a bride price symbolizing respect, social ties, and community unity. In rituals, they are offered in gratitude to ancestors or as part of celebrations marking life's milestones. They are living symbols of trust, honor, and continuity. In South Sudan, the cultural importance of cattle extends to spiritual rites. Rituals around herds often coincide with initiation ceremonies, harvests, or communal prayers. Each animal carries meaning, connecting humans to their ancestors, the land, and the divine. South Sudanese measure of wealth and social identity with cattle. The size and care of a herd determine influence within the community. In South Sudan, faith is not singular, it is layered, fluid, and deeply personal. Christianity, indigenous religions, and ancestral worship coexist, sometimes blending, sometimes standing distinct, but always shaping the way people understand life, death, and the world around them. Spirituality in South Sudan is a bridge between past and present, the living and the unseen, the individual and the community. It reminds the people that life is more than survival, it is connection, reverence, and belonging. South Sudan, the world's youngest nation, has known both beauty and heartbreak. For decades, war has scarred its land and displaced its people. Yet amidst the destruction, stories of resilience and hope endure. In South Sudan, conflict has left villages abandoned, crops destroyed, and families torn apart. Generations have grown up amidst uncertainty, witnessing the fragility of life and the cost of division. In South Sudan, because of war, homes that once held laughter now stand silent. The earth itself bears the weight of memories, loss, and the struggle to survive. In South Sudan, millions have been forced to flee. Displacement is not just physical, it is emotional, cultural, and spiritual. Families leave behind their lands, their cattle, their heritage. Yet, even in camps and temporary shelters, communities rebuild, adapt, and support one another. Life continues despite hardship. Water must be collected, food prepared, children educated. Every small act of survival becomes an act of courage and hope. Resilience in South Sudan is woven into daily life. The people return to their lands whenever possible, cultivating crops, tending livestock, and repairing homes. Communities reassemble, rituals resume, and traditions endure, even after displacement. Cultural practices, from music and dance to ceremonies and storytelling, become lifelines, reminders of identity, belonging, and continuity. South Sudan's strength lies in its people. Each story of survival is a testament to endurance, courage, and hope. Even in the shadow of war, life blooms. Children play, elders teach, and communities persevere. In South Sudan, the effects of war and displacement are deep, but so is the resilience of South Sudan's people. Their spirit is unbroken, their traditions unshaken, and their hope unwavering. In the heart of adversity, life finds a way. In South Sudan, the journey to learning is both inspiring and difficult. Schools are not just classrooms, they are beacons of hope. South Sudan's educational system is young and developing. Many schools are simple structures, often under-resourced, yet they represent the promise of knowledge and progress. Curriculum focuses on basic literacy and numeracy, alongside subjects such as social studies, science, and cultural education. Schools aim to equip children with the tools to participate in society and preserve their heritage. Access to education remains a challenge. According to recent reports, less than 40% of children in South Sudan attend school regularly, with rural areas and conflict-affected regions facing the greatest obstacles. Distance, limited infrastructure, and economic hardship often keep children out of school. Despite these challenges, families value education deeply, sending their children to learn whenever possible. Teachers and communities often go above and beyond. Lessons are held outdoors, under trees, or in community halls. Volunteers and NGOs help bridge gaps, providing materials, training, and support to keep children in classrooms. For those who make it through, education opens doors. Graduates carry knowledge, hope, and skills that can transform families and communities. Each child in school represents a step toward a brighter future for the entire nation. Education in South Sudan is more than numbers and percentages. It is resilience, determination, and belief in a better tomorrow. Even amid challenges, the drive to learn persists, shaping the next generation of leaders, thinkers, and changemakers. In a land rebuilding from conflict, schools are sanctuaries of hope, and every student in a classroom is a symbol of possibility. The journey of learning continues, carrying South Sudan toward a future where knowledge lights the way. South Sudan is a land of rivers and savannas, of lush wetlands and golden plains. Nature is not just a backdrop, it is life itself, shaping communities, livelihoods, and culture. The Nile is the lifeblood of South Sudan. From its waters, people drink, fish, irrigate crops, and sustain their cattle. It connects communities, nourishes the land, and has shaped human settlement for centuries. South Sudan is home to a remarkable diversity of wildlife. Elephants roam the plains, giraffes graze among acacia trees, and antelope leap across open grasslands. Birds fill the skies, their songs marking the changing seasons. Wildlife is more than a spectacle, it is a crucial part of the ecosystem. The people of South Sudan have lived alongside these animals for generations, learning to respect, protect, and coexist with the land's incredible biodiversity. The land itself sustains life. Fertile soils feed crops of sorghum, maize, and vegetables, while pastures nourish cattle and goats. Villages are built in harmony with nature, drawing water from rivers, collecting firewood sustainably, and relying on the land for survival. In South Sudan, human life and nature are inseparable here. Traditions, festivals, and rituals are deeply connected to the cycles of the land. South Sudan, a land often misunderstood, painted in headlines as a nation defined by conflict and struggle. But the reality is far richer, more complex, and profoundly human. Many see South Sudan through a single lens: war, displacement, and poverty. While these challenges exist, they tell only part of the story. They overlook culture, resilience, beauty, and life that continues every day in villages and cities alike. The reality is vibrant. South Sudanese people farm fertile land, care for livestock, celebrate traditions, and nurture strong communities. Music, dance, storytelling, and festivals continue, connecting generations and preserving heritage. culture thrives in ways that defy the headlines. Here, life is rich with meaning, laughter, and resilience. Nature in South Sudan is breathtaking. The Nile flows with life, wildlife roams freely, and vast plains stretch beyond the horizon. Yet, few outside the country appreciate the beauty and ecological significance of this land. Education, trade, and daily livelihoods continue despite challenges. People cultivate crops, sell goods in markets, teach children, and support families. Simple acts that reflect determination, innovation, and community spirit. South Sudan is not just headlines or statistics. It is a nation of farmers, herders, children, elders, artists, and teachers. It is a land of hope, resilience, and possibility. Misconceptions simplify what is complex, but reality is richer. South Sudan is a land of life, culture, and perseverance. A story of people shaping their future, connected deeply to their land and traditions.